magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome po sa ating premiere episode ng ating podcast na ang title ay Walk in Progress. Ito po ay pagbibigay ng serbisyo para maiparating sa inyo ang mga kwento, kaganapan at iba pang gawain ng Workers of Christ Community. Ito po ay sumasalamin sa ating buhay na dapat nating isaisip at isapuso ang bawat salita ng ating Diyos. Ako po si Sila Nicolas, ang inyong host. Samahan niyo ako ngayong araw at pakinggan ang isang magandang kwento ni Kuya Rene. So alamin natin kung ano ang kanyang buhay. Ngayon siya ang aming head ng Liturgy Ministry. Hi Kuya Rene!
Hi, magandang umaga po.
Welcome sa ating podcast. Salamat pala sa pagpapaunlak ninyo sa amin para ma-share po ninyo ang inyong kwento.
Salamat din sa pag-imbita to be part of this podcast.
Kamusta naman po kayo, Tito?
Doing good with Workers of Christ Community for the last 15 years po. And gaya na po sabi ni Zila ng ating host, I'm with the Liturgy Ministry ng community.
So bago natin pag-usapan, Tito, kasi ngayon, kayo yung nagli-lead ng ating Liturgy Ministry. So medyo muna tayo, rewind tayo ng konti at balikan natin yung mga part ng ating buhay noon. Pwede po bang i-describe natin ng konti? Diba? Ano yung life natin before really entering yung transformation period, kung tawagin natin?
Actually, it's a privilege to be in this podcast, to share how I walk as the moment with the Lord. It's actually more of the community members and brothers and sisters. Alam na po ang tunay na buhay ko. So, I have thrown my life for the last 20 years as a drug dependent, as a drug peddler. And actually, it all started, if I may, it all started na when I was 13 years old. Parang that was the turning point kung bakit naging bad boy si Kuya. I saw my father. He was shot and gunned down sa Gate 4 ng Customs South Harbor. From that point, parang nagrebelde po ako. I saw my father blooded sa kalsada with all the inubos yung isang magazine ng 45. Actually, he used to be the sector commander of South Harbor ng Customs Police. So, he was actually sleeping when a custom police ng ibang sector ng North Harbor was attempting to smuggle. My father was ginising po siya ng isang informant para to respond doon sa nangyayaring krimen na isang custom police din po ang gumagawa. He responded at he tried to apprehend the criminal or the smuggler. From that point, nagkaroon ng exchange of gunfire, nagkabarilan sila, and my father died on the spot. He died on the spot. From that point, parang it was actually traumatic. As a 13-year-old boy, hindi mo basta makomprehend what had transpired. Parang nadurog ang puso mo, and parang parang walang bukas para sa'yo. That was the start kung bakit ako napunta sa drugs. So, if kung alam naman ng lahat, kung pag umikot ang buhay mo sa droga, it would ruin everything. Hindi lang yung buhay mo, but of course those sa mga nakapaligid sa'yo, especially your family. Yun yung unang mga tatamaan. Daughters and your son, especially my wife, which is also a member of our community, the Workers of Christ. I know there would be people who would see this podcast. Hopefully, it would reach you kung ano ang maganda at how you will transform to be more productive.
Pero tito, 'di ba sabi po ninyo, 20 years no, hindi naging maganda ang takbo ng buhay. Ano po yung naging epekto po nito sa pamilya ninyo, especially kay tita, sa mga anak po ninyo?
Totoo niyan. First and foremost, they were disrespected by my own family, lahat ng mga kapitbahay. There would be a time na I would hear someone sa mga kapitbahay na anak yan ng drug addict, pusher tatay niyan. So if you would think kung ano ang magiging effect noon sa mga bata, of course talagang masakit.
Mhm.
Kung ako nasasaktan, di especially sila, dito ba?
So from that time, tito, ano po paano po kayo nakarating dun sa yung transformation kung tawagin?
Nakikita ko na kasi na ang mga bata, especially and also my wife,
Mhm.
was being disrespected, and even my family and siblings, they don't trust me anymore. Pag pumatok ako, sumisilip lang, they don't open the door wide open. So, alam niyo yun, yung kasi parang takot na sila sa akin.
Mhm.
So, from that point of view, I was touched na ganito na ba ako?
Mhm.
Ganito na ba ang kinalalagyan ng pamilya ko because of me? So, since alam ko na hindi ko naman kaya na ako tong mag-isa,
Mhm.
na I've tried much to change.
Did you seek professional help?
Yeah, I did. The psychiatrist told me that it would be ako lang mismo ang makakagamot sa sarili ko. At sa sarili ko rin, ako rin lang ang makakatulong. Hindi lang para sa sarili ko, ngunit para din sa pamilya ko. Kailangan mong tingnan at aminin na may shortcoming ka, na may kasalanan ka. So, which is yun yung pinakamahirap sa isang tao, no?
Opo.
For you to umamin ng pagkakamali. So, deep in there, I know na mahirap yun. So, what I did is, I went to church, from morning in a conventual mass. So, I was trying to anchor myself unto the Lord, no? And I was seeking help for me to change, for me to be a new person. Hindi lang para sa akin, but of course, para sa mga bata at pamilya.
Paano po tayo napasok din sa isang community na Workers of Christ? Yes.
Thinking along, I was actually invited by Architect Sam, or as we all know, sa community si Uncle Sam. Thinking along na hanap buhay, kasi I proposed, meron akong hanap buhay kay Architect. So, the invitation was made by Uncle Sam. Thinking along na baka hindi niya pirmahan or baka hindi matuloy yung hanap buhay if hindi ako a-attend doon sa invitation ng Life in the Spirit seminar. So again, sabi ko nga, inilagay ko yung invitation sa ibabaw ng rep. Araw-araw, when I open the refrigerator, nakikita yung invitation. From that point, nag-usap kami ng wife ko na who is also a member of Workers of Christ. The invitation came actually 15 years ago. So, 15 years ago, yung Life in the Spirit seminar. Sabi ng wife ko, si Ellen, na paano ka nga attend dyan? malamang matutulog ka lang dyan. Di ba? Yun ang sabi sa akin, hindi yan yung para sa'yo. So, um, to make the long story short, you know, uh, 2 days or 3 days before, we decided na we attend. Not because the Lord is inviting me, but because of the hanap buhay.
So, yung intention nyo po pa rin nung magjo-join po kayo sa Life in the Spirit Seminar was because of the business proposal.
Correct. Mismo. Yung pa rin po hanggang sa dulo na hindi ko po alam na in the span of time na doon sa invitation, it was actually the Lord who is inviting me. It is not the hanap buhay or it is not Uncle Zam ang nag-i-invite para sa Life in the Spirit Seminar. So, gaya po ng sabi ko sa inyo, no, mga kapatid, the invitation was extended to me and actually to my wife 15 years ago. Now, we are with the community ng 15 years na nga po. We are serving the Lord. Kumbaga, dun sa nakaraang buhay, I learned lots of things sa community. How hindi ko sinasabing humble na ako, pero in a way na nabawasan, because of the community brothers and sisters. So, isa yon. And me and my wife used to be, parang alam nyo, asot pusa na walang tigil ang away when we before we attend, we join the workers of our community, the workers of Christ. So from that point is, to be exact, tumigil. Natutunan namin ang patience, natutunan namin umintindi. Alam niyo yun, yung hindi namin alam na unti-unti the Lord is working on us, me and my wife, and actually eventually even my family.
So talagang gumanda po yung relationship ninyo sa buong pamilya.
Hindi lang po before, hindi nung way back what is the word? Siguro nung way back na walang hiya pa po ako. So yun yung word siguro is that ang pinagbago we in the family, it's the children who is inviting me to go to church. Before, wala kami po nun. Totally wala kaming simba in lahat. Even my wife. So, if you would see the difference kung ano yung ginagawa sa buhay ng isang komunidad, maybe I am so grateful. I'm so grateful na na-invite kami, not actually by Uncle Sam, but by the Lord. He was actually 15 years ago working, hindi lang for me, but for my whole family. So, ganun po ka-mysterious ang paraan ng Panginoon. From a nobody, from a basura ng lipunan, to somebody who is serving, who is a living witness for Him. Alam niyo yun? So talaga, I'm so grateful and I'm so elated na maging isang worker of Christ na kapatid. Siguro, what I can tell those who are watching you, sila, no, is there is always tomorrow. Even you are the most, or you are a sinner, all you have to do is for you to anchor yourself unto the Lord and trust Him. And He will work. He will work for you. He will change your life.
Was there a time in your life, Tito, na, kasi di ba right now, nasa community na po kayo, nagsuserve na po kayo through the liturgy ministry. Was there a time, kahit nung nasa community na po tayo, kasi di ba sabi nyo nga, 15 years yung transformation, was there a time na nagkaroon po kayo ng kumbaga parang situation na talagang naging mabigat, pero this time kasama nyo na si Lord?
What is the exact word? Siguro the exact word is yung transition ng withdrawal from drug days, no, unto this now. I'll give you an example how a drug dependent, kung bakit there would be a time na bumabalik into the vice, no? Because for me, gaya nga nung kanina, sabi ko sa'yo, na-hospitalize ako for it. The transition ng withdrawal, I'll give you an example, mga kapatid. There was a time na it was actually not daydreaming. I was wide awake. Then, alam niyo yung kabayo na black, na ang mata pulang-pula, and then parang bumubuga yung ng umuusok yung ilong, and then the devil was riding that horse with the trident, no, yung may salapang na alam niyo yun, yung trident na hawak-hawak niya. He lassoed me, no? Hinuli niya yung paa ko ng lasso. So, nahuli yung paa ko, and he was actually laughing. Gising po ako nito, mga kapatid. Gising po ako. So, hinila niya ako. The worst part of it, nung withdrawal na yon, is, nung hinihila na ako, I was being beaten by snakes. So, every time na tutuklawin ako, talagang sisigaw ako. Ganun po yung isang part na I will never forget, yung withdrawal.
Ano po yung parang naging pinaka-turning point po ninyo?
Turning point is actually the family. And the respect for yourself. Because you already had lost that, eh. Diba? You lost the respect, not just for yourself, but also for the family. Wala na po yun. For you to gain that respect, hindi po yun ganun kaiksing panahon. For you, kasi what you lost is the trust. Not by ng pamilya mo and the children, but of course yung trust mo sa sarili mo. You yourself disrespect yourself, eh. So yun yung naging transition for me to realize na I'm in too deep. Lubog na po, nasa Kumunoy ka na, eh. Ano, saan ka pa pupunta? If kung hindi ka aahon ng Kumunoy, tuloy-tuloy ka lang malulunod, di ko ba? So, yun yung naging turning point, as you asked me na, is that was the turning point na I anchored myself to the Lord. Walang iba po kasing kakapitan, eh. Hindi po kakayanin ng isang tao ang magaganong klase ng pagsubok. The only option and the only way for you to turn your life is for you to go to the Lord and walk with Him.
So, dati po tito, di ba, sabi ninyo, pag may mga challenges na na-encounter nyo nga nung inyong kabataan, you turn to yung mga vices, ganyan. So, ano naman po yung naging difference na ngayon, nasa community life na po kayo, kapag syempre hindi naman perpekto ang buhay, may mga challenges pa rin, ano po yung naging change?
When I found the Lord at I walked, regarding sa struggles and difficulties, yes, of course, even I'm with the workers of Christ, the same, there would be struggles, trials and difficulties. But the big difference is when you anchored yourself sa Panginoon, you would know that He is there at your back, pushing you forward. And you would know that peace is also there, even in times na magbibigay ka ng solutions, or He Himself, the Lord Himself, will answer your questions and your prayers. Yun yung difference if you have the Lord in your life, and if you have the community like the workers of Christ.
Ang ganda po nung transition po ninyo from yung life before na nasa renewal po kayo, and then right now, kasi tama naman, hindi naman talaga mawawala yung mga problema, yung mga bagyo ng buhay. Siguro Tito, bago tayo mag-end po, no, is there an anchor verse or parang Bible verse na patuloy na nag-i-inspire po sa inyo sa journey po ninyo right now?
Yeah, I believe I have one. It comes from Jeremiah 31:19. After I stayed, I repented. No? After I come to understand, I beat my breast. I was ashamed and humiliated because I bore the disgrace of my youth. So, matagal na po yung verse na yon. It was actually given by the one who anchored and ushered me, si Father Tamerlane. Siya po sa kanya po nanggaling yung verse na yon. When I was in transition, trying to change and to prove myself na pwede ang pagbabago sa isang tao. Again, it's the Dominican who ushered my life back into the Lord.
Tito Rene, maraming salamat po sa inyong sharing. Alam ko hindi po madali mag-share ng kanilang mga pinanggalingan ng nakaraan. Pero sure ako, marami po tayong mai-inspire sa kwento po ninyo. Siguro before we end na lang po Tito, baka meron pa po tayong mensahe para sa ating mga viewers, lalo na yung similar yung pinagdaanan po sa inyo.
Gayon din sila. Thank you sa lahat, especially dun sa back crew for being there, for doing this. Actually, this is for isa lang masasabi ko. Yes, mahirap po ang magbigay ng pinanggalingan, lalo na yung kagaya nung sa akin. But the reality is, you were asked by the Lord to be the living witness. And this is actually the work of the Lord, and this is for the glory of God. Yun lang po yan.
Maraming salamat po, Tito Rene. Isa pong magandang halimbawa ang ating napakinggan. Isang patunay na bawat manggagawa ng ating Panginoon ay nagiging makabuluhan ang buhay at patuloy na nagseserbisyo para kay Lord. So para po sa mga susunod na activities, tingnan na lang po natin ang ating screen. Muli ako po si Sila Nicolas, ang inyong podcast host dito sa ating programa na Walk in Progress. Ang kwento ng buhay ng ating mga kapatid sa Workers of Christ Community. Hanggang sa muli!